Hey, Garage Logic fans, I do a podcast on the Garage Logic Network that comes out every Wednesday and Friday now, twice a week. But here's an important caveat. There is zero logic available in my show, in the formal definition of logic. Of course, life is a yin and yang kind of thing. There's the logic side, and then there's the what the hell side, which needs to get its exercise. So come for the what the hell and stay for the you've got to be kidding me. Mishki, now Wednesdays and Fridays, twice a week.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1671, December 2nd, 2025. It was 63 degrees on this day in 1982 and 17 below in 1886. I'm going to do everyone a favor. We're drawing up close now to the last 60 of the calendar year, and what I'll do is I'll count the days between the last 60 and the first 60 of the new year. And we'll see how many days in Minnesota you must go between 60s. It probably isn't that many, to tell you the truth.
Are we laying money down, or is it just a mythical?
Say, do yourself a favor and call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for that free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
I got a note from Cal Freilich down in Florida who writes, as further evidence of GL's bravado appeal to the masses, not only are you number one in Anguilla, but in Southwest Florida, some of your ads are in Spanish.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did it? Who voiced it?
I did.
Well, how in the hell would I know who voiced it?
Can you hold, please?
Señor, do you like to go to Donde está Camelot?
Yeah.
Camelot es muy bueno.
Whatever happened to that?
Mi casa es su casa a Camelot.
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Gabe, we are going to talk about it. An emailer sent me some documents showing the incredible growth in health incredible growth in Lutheran Social Services. Now, we stumbled upon this yesterday, that Jody Harpstead came from Lutheran Social Services to Walz's Dept of Human Services.
We did. We found that out yesterday?
Well, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Were you here?
I was, but I knew the social services. I didn't know the Harpstead angle of that.
Well, she was with Lutheran Social Services.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
And the gist of it, I can trust this young fellow to give us the gist of it.
More than you can trust the guys to your right and left?
Yes.
Hey now.
So basically, she was brought to Lutheran Social Services in the year of 2011.
We don't know from where.
We do. She spent 23 years working for Medtronic.
Oh, okay.
So she was a private sector. She was higher up at Medtronic.
Right.
Doesn't really matter either. She was brought to Lutheran Social Services, and basically it was right after a recession. Mm-hmm. So she was kind of on the cleanup crew of how can we grow revenue and what ideas can we implement to make sure that we're safeguarded from something like this happening.
And they're doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
We're not suggesting that they weren't.
No, right. They were around $100 million in total revenue that year.
And their revenue stems from what?
It's 90% of government funding is from what there's a range. It's not a total number because per year, I think it kind of depends on whatever the government will give them or whatever they apply for.
Right.
She worked for for Lutheran Social Services until 2019, and she saw basically a 30 to 50% bump over her 8 years of being the CEO and an increase of revenue.
Well, so she's a gal who really must have known what she was doing.
Yes. And she took on she did a merger with Children's Home, which boosted an adoption revenue. So that is one way that they grew. Another way they grew was they launched a higher disability waiver contract. So they're helping people with disabilities. They expanded their senior services amid an aging boom, apparently. So they're helping now people that are older.
Right.
They focused more on refugees.
She's still with Lutheran Social Services.
Still, yep. These are within the 8 years. This is how she brought their revenue higher. So she focused on housing and getting refugees, i.e. Somalians, because they were working on, the government was paying more money per refugee that you would bring in. And that kind of depended on if it was a family or if it was a single person. It would depend on how much money they give you.
I'm still puzzled by that we were literally paying a bounty.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part. Continue.
Well, that part is... It's interesting, but it's a very small portion of their total revenue.
Right.
So it's not really something I would be concerned on just because it's not in the hundreds of millions. It's under 10.
Right.
Then in 2019, she gets appointed by Governor Walz to be the head of DHS and leave Lutheran Social Services.
Which she could have stayed with. She didn't have to accept Walz's offer, but she did.
No, she accepted it. And this was kind of a moral balance for her. She wanted to help more people than what she was helping right now and take on the largest part of the state government. This was right after I was trying to find if there was a major fraud scandal before 2019 or before 2020, and the only thing I could find was there was a overpayment of substance abuse fraud that was being uncovered.
Well, we also had a daycare fraud that preceded all this.
Yes.
Yep.
But from what I have kind of uncovered, it shows such a small portion before 2020. And most of the billions of dollars of fraud that you're seeing would be under the DHS that she ran. Now, she focused on autism and housing, supposedly, and kind of redoing the way that DHS was structured. And she split it up into 3 major organizations rather than just one umbrella. And in January of 2025,
that's just less than a year ago.
Testified with the Senate. And in that testimony, she stated that it was just rumors of fraud, that there wasn't actually fraud that was happening.
Well, by January of 2025, the fraud, that wasn't rumors.
Yes, the money was out
the
out
money
the door.
was flowing freely, and we knew about it.
That was her covering her, what?
No, we're not. It's given her background and her success, I'm not yet prepared to say she had a role in this. Maybe I'm being terribly naive.
I don't think there's any evidence, but I mean, I could see why you could strongly speculate that there was something. She said that, and shortly after, they started to actually uncover the evidence of where the money went, how long it went there, how it was getting there. So they were actually having fraud, and this was just weeks after she resigned from her position as the head of DHS.
To be replaced by Gandhi. Now, let's pause there for a moment. It might very well have been that once fully aware of fraud, she wished to stop it.
I wish that I could say that was true.
Okay.
However, there are 500 DHS employees that would disagree with you that have firsthand experience.
All right.
And the only thing that I can think of, because she strongly in what we saw yesterday with the DHS employees, they were saying we were being told to not stop the payments, to not raise awareness for what's going on here.
And we heard that firsthand a week ago.
Yeah.
From Representative Rarick.
And we can reasonably conclude that those instructions came from Walz to Harpstead.
Either that, or if it didn't come from Walz was okay with her saying that it was going on.
All right.
And you can see that in the 500 employees that are saying they didn't want us to discriminate against a certain race of people, against a certain group of people, and say that all of the fraud is happening. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, if you're saying that we don't want to assume that this group is doing the fraud, I think you're kind of admitting, hey, this group is doing the fraud. We know this group is doing the fraud, but we don't want to be the ones saying that
we don't want to point
did the
that
fraud.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because why would you make an assumption that only one group is doing a fraud? If you're looking at numbers on a sheet of paper, the race or the name of that person that's committing that crime is not in front of you.
Well, that's two agency heads that went out the door at critical junctures. Heather Mueller left the Department of Education when the manure hit the fan.
Feeding Our Future.
When Feeding Our Future hit the fan, and now Harpstead. But I don't know where she went. I know Mueller has landed jobs and is still involved with the state. However, peripherally, I don't know what happened. Shireen Gandhi is the one who replaced Harpstead. And Gandhi, I can find her only guilty of being ridiculously reticent, not saying anything of any use to anybody. And it would seem to me that these 400 Shireen Gandhi. What did I say?
I didn't hear you say the first name.
Shireen Gandhi. She hasn't been useful at all in helping the public understand how they've been defrauded.
Sure would be fun to find out why they left.
For Jody Harpstead, all they have is that she left, and she was there 6 years ago. She was to lead the DHS, but I don't have a new employer.
Well, I guess we're mentioning this because we're attempting to discover the layers of the bureaucracy and how this all worked. But the most telling evidence lately, or most recently, are the employees of the Department of Human Services saying that they were told. I have the most recent thing from Bill Glahn at the Center of the American Experiment, and we had this at the end of the show yesterday, but the employee whistleblower account at DHS has been suspended. In my last conversation with them yesterday, they expressed fear over retaliation regarding their explosive post placing the blame for fraud in Minnesota on Governor Tim Walz. Well, that's where it should be placed. When I last checked that post before the account suspension, it had received more than 36 million views. Apparently, they were directly over the target. That's a short piece in the American Experiment today, but Glahn has confirmed that the account used by those employees to inform us of this has been suspended. I don't know who.
It's back on.
It is?
Yeah.
Are they still telling us these things?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Great.
surprises you guys more? The fact that account was temporarily suspended, or the fact that we were basically the only people in this market that reported on this story?
Well, I should note the Star Tribune is so thrilled to have discovered a white guy who's been robbing people. That's the headline in the Star Tribune today.
This is a massive deal.
No, we're being failed on a number of fronts. We're being failed by our government in Minnesota. We're being failed most particularly, we're failed by our government. And we're failed by our news gathering institutions. With the exception of news gathering institutions that have developed over the last 5 to 10 years. Alpha News, Sahan Journal, Minneapolis Times, Minnesota Reformer. Many of them might have leftward-leaning ideology, but many of them have made tremendous efforts to report the actual news.
Sahan Journal is the one that broke the Feeding Our Future story.
So we've been let down by our state government. back. We've been let down by the news media that only now, for example, are daring to refer to these troubles. Now, the Star Tribune would defend itself and say, we had all the stories. Well, you had them all late.
6 weeks
Or
after everybody
buried.
else.
You didn't have them first. And I understand newspapers have fallen on hard time. The St. Paul paper does not even have a staff that could handle
But
much
Joe,
of
that's
this.
the kind of subject that would get them the ball rolling for them. Wow, we got some investigative work we can do.
That's not being done. I mean, there's a Pulitzer Prize to be won here.
Right.
Seriously. There's a Pulitzer Prize to be won here. Although the Pulitzer Prize in itself has become so ideological purified that I doubt that the Pulitzer Prize would go to the exposure of people of color.
Not to open up a massive can of worms, but is that directly reflective of the appetite of the consumer? Meaning people just don't really care that much about the fraud?
I think the tide is turning on that when even the euphorians and the prematurely gray-haired 42-year-old women who will start talking to each other at yoga classes about how their property taxes have gone up. I think they're bound to understand what's happening here.
See, I think I disagree with that. I think the topic is too intricate, too detailed, and too boring, and the average person doesn't have time nor want to learn about it.
My kid has basketball at 6. Yeah,
I don't think
Kenny's
it's
right.
boring that a governor of the state has squandered $1 billion of our money.
Not talking about us or you, Joe.
No, I mean
I'm
the people of
answering
the
Chris's
state.
question.
I mean the people of the state. I think they find that interesting.
No, I disagree. I think they're too busy, and there's too much to learn, and it's too complicated.
It really isn't that much to learn.
I know. I agree. But, the emailer to you said it yesterday. You were on this in 2017 or 2018?
2018.
Goodness.
Well, don't.
So we've been at it for a while.
You've got a very bad governor who has done very bad things. And I will have to reluctantly agree that does not seem to have gained a great deal of purchase with the average citizen.
Right. It's baffling.
I do think it's gaining purchase with the average citizen. I've noticed it. Not to the degree I would want, but it's gaining recognition how thoroughly we've been fleeced. If for nothing else, he's just been caught for his complete negligence.
And now all those human services employees are saying it was his fault.
Yep.
He allowed this to happen.
The remarks of the employees at Human Services are gaining national attention. The story is out. The leash has been broken. I mean, Walz, just think what Walz got away with last summer pretending to be vice presidential timber, running around and dancing like Dom DeLuise on stages and pretending that he was this folksy guy. He had to be in constant communication with the people that continued to allow this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I did discover this. Gabe, sorry if you're going to get to this. Jody Harpstead wrote a book in 2019.
I didn't know that.
With a guy by the name of Paul Batz, B-A-T-Z.
Yeah.
Breakthrough to Goodness. How to tap into your team's biggest possibilities.
I'm not condemning. I don't know enough about Jody Harpstead to accuse her of anything. All I know is that she was really, really, really good at gathering money. Really good at it.
You want me to order you a copy of this
For
book?
all I know, she's done great work. Again, there are many listeners who think my cynicism is not nearly adequate for this show. But I'm hesitant to accuse Jody Harpstead of anything.
That's your background in journalism.
Well, we don't have any facts.
It
Come
might
down
keep
to the
us
gutter with us.
You know what? It might keep us out of the courtroom. So I'm going to go with your instinct.
We need you
Whatever
here.
Joe
We
said.
need you here.
Although they did get you in trouble initially with Walz and your reluctance to come over to our side.
He's just a knucklehead.
What are you talking about?
A few years ago when you weren't blaming him for
You said he didn't ask for this.
being a dictator during COVID.
No. You're when COVID first struck.
Yeah, I'm not with you on this at all.
I know, and I've changed my mind. But when COVID first struck, I just said, well, he didn't ask for this. He's got to do what a governor has to do now.
He did pray for it, though.
Well, I don't think he did.
He was running against Trump back then, too, I believe.
Well, and I think people are seeing through his trying to deflect this as Trump's fault.
Right.
People are seeing through that.
Definitely.
This has nothing to do with Trump, who's got enough problems. Trump didn't send the checks out to the food fraudsters. Why don't we take a short time out?
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
Okay.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Today is the day you're going to do it. You know what? Do it right now. Today is the day you're going to use the internet for good for once. Jump on customroasting.net and get yourself set up with your December coffee. There's 2 items I want you to look for. First of all, let's knock out a gift or two for friends and loved ones with the Custom Roasting gift box. It's 2 of their best-selling coffees, the Minnesota Morning Blend and the French Roast, paired nicely in a really cool craft gift box, ready for shipping. Also a great gift. Now, I really like this idea, and it's my idea. It's a great gift for you or the GLer in your life. Just get the Garage Logic starter pack. It's our custom roasting picks. We have 1 each of Minnesota Morning Blend, Boundary Waters Blend, Columbia Excelso, and French Roast. We love them all. Now, if the charity you're involved with is planning some sort of future fundraising, oh boy, you are in luck. Custom Roasting has done all the heavy lifting for you. They've been doing fundraising for years, and they have a really cool package, full color order forms, and a bunch of options, including, listen to this, chocolate espresso beans. Are you kidding me? CustomRoasting.net. Get on the internet. Do some good for yourself, your friends, your family, and Merry Christmas from our friends at CustomRoasting.net.
Say, you better put an emergency call into the lake detective.
On it.
We got 2 items to talk to him about.
We got jellyfish in Minnesota.
I don't believe it.
I
And
thought
we're
that was
worried
ocean only.
We're worried about turtles.
Turtles.
Twiddles.
Another scandal. Star Tribune, if they reported it, I haven't seen it. Their headline today in the Star Tribune is ex-CEO admits to embezzlement. And that's the story of this
Do something about the screen, Chris. Come on.
Jonathan Weinhagen fellow who was with the, I think he was with the regional chamber, and he started taking money. So he's going to end up in prison. But we have another one. I got this, believe it or not, from WCCO.
Hold on. Before you move on, what I love about this is top of the fold, big, bold headline. And federal prosecutors are mentioned numerous times before the jump. So it wasn't our guy Ellison, was it?
No.
It wasn't anybody in the state that found this guy out. It's all federal prosecutors.
Ellison has not been helpful.
Just like the food fraud prosecution. It's
What do
all,
you got, Reeves?
Well, I can't. We can't have him on until I get my.
You
proper-
reached him already?
Well, he's always on the case.
The
Come on
only
here.
podcast in America that has a lake detective.
Hi, LD. I'll get your theme in a second.
Well, is he? Are you in the office, LD?
Yes, we are hunkered down in the office now. The boat's been put away, and we are now into our case, doing all our case studies.
LD, what the hell is this? There's jellyfish in Minnesota.
Yes.
What is this?
That is a freshwater jellyfish, the only freshwater jellyfish species in the world, and we have it right here in Minnesota.
What the?
Although it's in other states as well.
It's called the Crospediacusta sowerbee.
Yes, Craspedicusta.
That's what I meant to say, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's a small world. My first publication in the literature, in the peer-reviewed literature, was on the freshwater jellyfish we found in Oklahoma in 1980.
Wow.
It comes from China. It's originally from China.
Sure.
It is. It's a non-native jellyfish, but not really invasive. I mean, they just kind of puff around, like little miniature jellyfish. They're only about a half-inch, three-quarter-inch in diameter.
Are they dangerous to people?
Nope, not one bit.
What good are they?
They're very rare.
Yeah.
They'll be in the sediments for decades sometimes, and as cysts, resting cells, and they only come out under exact perfect conditions, and then they just explode through a bay. And it's really like surreal. Have these things kind of popping around, doing what jellyfish do. It's fun.
Can you see through them?
Yes, you can. They're mostly translucent. They have a little bit of whitish matter to them, but a lot of clear protoplasm as well. So, they're just puffing around, and you don't rarely see them. So when you do see them, you go, "Well, look at that." This is something you don't see every day.
Now, do you expect you'll be brought in on a case regarding this particular species?
Well, I'm always available, but they're
right.
also very short-lived. They're only going to last. They'll bloom for about a couple weeks, and then they'll go back into their resting cell stage, and they hang out in the sediments. But it's how they got there. Now that is a little bit of a mystery. That would be something for me to investigate a little bit more closely.
Do our Minnesota fish that we know and trust, do they eat these things?
They sure could, because. But they do have small little, like regular jellyfish, those little blasters or those stingers.
Yeah.
But they are so minor. These things, the freshwater jellyfish are eating zooplankton, but fish, if he encounters it, he can eat it if he wants to. It wouldn't really hurt him too much.
Could these become mutant and, tip over a boat or,
Jeez, Joe. How many would you need to do that?
Well, no. Oh, Chris, what happens if there was a mutation and they just got, 10 feet in diameter?
That's right. That's right. That wasn't Chris. That was Kenny.
I have a question, LD. So they found this in that nasty little pothole right next to the exit from East 62 to South Cedar, that tiny little thing. Are we finding these in natural environment lakes or recreational lakes? Where are they living?
They could be found in almost a big lake or a small lake. But you know what happens? They're so short-lived that they might have a bloom and we never see it either. Or it might be just in a bay, and they'll go out and they'll do their thing for a couple weeks and then they're gone.
What
so they might be more widespread than we know, but they can live in just about any freshwater system.
What if Such is up at the lake? He's out there in the water, dog paddling around, and he accidentally swallows about 20 of them. What's that going to do to him?
Probably wouldn't be so thirsty after that, but otherwise, it's just a little bit of protoplasm. A little bit of protein won't hurt you a bit.
There you go.
You mentioned non-native, LD. Does that mean there is a native type of jellyfish?
No, it just means that in this case, they are not endemic to the United States.
China.
Got it.
How'd they get here? Isn't that where those Asian lady beetle bugs come from, too?
That's right.
We had one more question, and I guess we should all apologize for asking you this. Are those turtles okay down there? They look cold.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't know they stayed under the water all winter.
Yep, the snappers are down there, too. They put a little bit of dirt over their shell, and they just kind of hunker down. They breathe through their skin over the winter.
Yeah.
And they'll gulp. If they take a gulp, it'll be about once every 3 or 4 minutes.
Wow.
So they're hibernating right now.
Boy.
All the turtles do that.
Yeah, you've never been stumped. Blue water science, Steve McComas. Tell us this then. To summarize, these tiny freshwater jellyfish are nothing to worry about.
They're nothing to worry about. Enjoy it because they're they're ephemeral, as they say. They're going to last a week or two, and then they will run their course, and they're hunkered down. We'll have to wait till they reappear, and it's hard to say when because we don't know what those conditions are at this time.
LD, have you been out on the hard water yet? I'm hearing rumors that Red Lake, one of the bays, has 4 inches of ice. When are you going to get out there?
You know what? At the end of early November, mid-November, we were out in Pokegama around Pine City, and I'll be a son of a gun if those shallow bays, we were breaking ice. We were like an icebreaker in those shallow bays there.
Yeah.
It melted subsequently, but yeah, it's hard water now.
You know what? Before we let him go, Joe, I have one question, and maybe you can clear this up for me. Guys that plant fish in the spring and then harvest them in the fall, okay? So they plant the little itty-bitty things. What are they called? Fry,
yeah.
And then in the fall, they throw their nets out and they take out the fingerlings. Is that correct?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Do those fry turning into fingerlings do any harm to duck food? Because we all seem to think that the lakes where they do that around here, we're not seeing ducks on them anymore. Is there any truth to that?
Well, they are, at that point, going from fry to fingerling, their main food source would be zooplankton and amphipods, the freshwater shrimp if they're available.
Yeah.
So they are not fish eaters at that point. They are probably competing, or it certainly could be putting a damper on some of those potential duck foods, especially if there's any freshwater shrimp.
So that's why when we plant freshwater shrimp we have to drill holes in the ice to do it in the spring. Yeah. And we don't see them at all come duck hunting.
If there's some fish in there, you're feeding the fish. I'm sure you got a lot of happy fish down there.
Yeah. All right. That was a disappointing answer, but I had to ask.
Is the long-legged receptionist, the long-legged blonde receptionist in the building?
That's funny you say that. I have her sitting about 10 feet from me so I can look over her shoulder.
You're damn right you do.
To see what kind of file she's on.
Right.
Yep. Joe, this is going on 32 years. She's put up with all this stuff.
Well, that's because she knows the business. She might as well be a detective just like you. Thank you so much, Lake Detective.
You're welcome.
Right,
anytime.
Thank you very much.
What were you going to say, LD? You
going to say one? Those freshwater shrimp, they're amphipods. That's the scientific name.
Oh, okay.
Good luck out there.
Okay.
Thanks, LD. Thanks.
Okay, kid. Never been stumped. Never. His first research paper was on these things.
I have a question. There's 10.5 trillion podcasts in the country?
Yes.
How many of those have their own Lake Detective on the ready at the call?
Zero.
Got it.
A Minneapolis man is accused of participating in a fraud scheme that stole more than $1 million in state, federal, and local grants. Tony Robinson, 41, is charged with 5 counts of wire fraud and conspiracy, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota. The Attorney's Office said from December of 2021 to October 2022, Robinson facilitated the submission of false grant progress reports for an organization called Encouraging Leaders. Robinson's reports claimed Encouraging Leaders used grant funds to organize events and activities that never occurred. and overstated encouraging leaders' involvement in events that had occurred, the attorney's office said. Robinson's reports also falsely claimed that encouraging leaders had assisted various students, when in fact it had not. Robinson is accused of defrauding the U.S. Justice Department, Hennepin County, the City of Minneapolis, the Minnesota Departments of Education and Human Services, and the Minnesota State's Art Board and other agencies. Tezeri El Amin Champion, who founded Encouraging Leaders, pleaded guilty to wire fraud, money laundering, and illegal possession of the dough. Champion engaged in fraud using a marketing company he called Futuristic Management. That group stole more than $2.1 million. He had a co-defendant in that case, Marcus Hamilton. He also pled guilty. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
So this was an investigation by the United States Postal Inspection Service.
Yeah.
My question is, how did they find out about this? Were they tipped off? Was something stinky go? You know what I mean?
I don't think it takes much anymore for them to get their dander up. I think they can just look around any corner and probably are justified in wondering what's going on.
Okay.
Say, why don't we take a time out and return with the news?
We should. I should turn my mic on first and talk about We Are Nuts and WeAreNutsMN.com, handmade right here in the great state of Minnesota. It's a small batch, wonderful family-run organization and operation. And you know what? You can now get your favorite selections of We Are Nuts at all of Cub Foods locations, Quick Trip locations. You already knew that you got them at Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores, also Max Hardware, Lunds and Byerly's, Kowalski's Markets. It's a wonderful time to get all of those selections for all the family gatherings you're going to have. Doesn't matter. The cashews, the mixed nuts, the mixed chocolate almonds. How about the maple bourbon toffee almonds, by the way? The cinnamon toffee peanuts are a big hit in my household with my two young ones. Also the hot nuts and, of course, the Hokey Pokey popcorn and so much more. See it for yourself. Go to their website, WeAreNutsMN.com. You can see their entire selection. And if you're not able to get to any one of those locations that I mentioned earlier, just order it through their website at WeAreNutsMN.com. Like I mentioned, a wonderful family-run operation. And you know what? They've been a proud supporter of the Garage Logic podcast for some time. So please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic podcast.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
You know, I could say 'tis the season, but there really is no season when you want to keep your home warm. You want to keep it cool in the summer, and you want to keep that air quite pure in your home. Well, welterheating.com is 12 months, 24 hours a day. They've got emergency service. They really don't have a season. It's 365 days a year. They understand that you cannot plan when that furnace is going to bust out or when that cooling system in the middle of summer is going to break down. That's why it's cheap insurance to keep Welter Heating on your refrigerator. A little notation there, and I'm sure they have little magnets if you give them a call, 612-825-6867. But they should be the ones that you call. If you want to get an estimate from somebody else, go ahead, but make sure you get one from Welter, and you'll find that they are full of common sense, and their estimate's going to be pure. They've got certified techs that'll come out to your home. They serve the metro area for the last 120 years, and they have 4 generations. Mr. Ray and Welter started it all in about 1912. Rick's running the show right now, but let's face it, all family members are hands on deck, and it's a well-oiled machine. Don't take any chances. Don't roll the dice with your heating unit, cooling, or your air purification systems. I've worked with Welter over the years, and I will tell you that they do a fantastic job. Plus, they advertise here on the Garage Logic podcast, 612-825-6867, or online at welterheating.com. This week, heat up your shelter with the fine folks from Ray N. Welter.
Here's John Heidt in the newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Before we start the news, if I may use a couple seconds here just for some personal stuff.
Sure,
is that okay?
John. Sure, John.
Mind? Well, you're going to not say that in a minute, Joe, because part of the personal thing takes a shot at you, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, all right.
I got an email from Tom. Tom says this. He says, "Glad you're back because I was gone for a week and a half."
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have brought this up again except the lake detective talked about Lake Pogama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last Tuesday, and I noticed this when you said it. You said Lake Pokegama when you did that.
I thought I said Pokegama.
No, you said it wrong, but I think we all kind of let it pass.
All right, I said
Let
it
it go.
wrong.
I mean, he's on a roll. He's on a roll. That's what we thought.
Yeah, and Tom says, that's all I got. If I spend all my time typing up lists of things the idiots got wrong, I'd have no time for my day or my family.
No, he wouldn't, would he? No.
Maybe Tom should start his own podcast.
That was kind of
teach us all how to do it.
Yeah.
As you say, Joe. That was untoward.
I think so. It's Pokegama.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
And then Krista, our friend from Western Maryland, Maryland GLer, sent me a very, very nice card.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Greatly appreciated.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Krista. Okay, now let's talk about news,
the
shall we?
book, The Correspondent, takes place in Maryland.
Really?
The woman lives in Annapolis. It's just wonderful. It's worth your try. It's very different.
Got it. Trump administration launching an intensive immigration enforcement operation primarily targeting hundreds of undocumented Somali immigrants here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul region. That, according to an official with knowledge of the operation and documents obtained by the New York Times. The effort, which is beginning this week, focuses mostly on Somalis with final deportation orders who are living here, though the official said others could be swept up in the immigration sweep as well. The plan calls for the deployment of strike teams, which are made up of ICE officers, agents, and other federal officials. Roughly 100 officers and agents from around the country have been brought in for the operation, according to the official. Tricia McLaughlin is a spokeswoman for the Homeland Security Department, says in a statement the agency does not discuss future or potential operations. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced last night the department is looking into claims that Minnesota tax dollars may have been diverted to the terrorist group Al-Shabaab. Secretary Bessent stated the department will release more information as the investigation progresses. The announcement comes about a week after President Trump pledged to terminate the temporary legal protections for Somalis living in Minnesota.
Isn't it more likely to say that if money was sent back to Somalia, it stands to reason that Al-Shabaab would have gotten their taste of it? It seems to me that it's so corrupt that they would get the money. Yeah.
I think it's Bessent, too. I think I've been saying it wrong. So there you go for everybody who's going to send me a note.
In other words, I guess I'm defending Somalis. They may not very well be sending money specifically to fund terrorism. It's that Al-Shabaab gets their hands on the money anyway.
Right. Exactly. Defense attorney Chris Medell's campaign for governor is off to a bit of a shaky start. He announced a campaign Monday that he plans to focus on fraud, public safety, education, and affordability. His Democratic and Republican opponents tried to focus on his criminal defense work, though, and contributions he's made to everyone, especially Democrats, including Governor Tim Walz. Because Medell is running as a Republican. He said, I'm in good company with respect to this. He said President Reagan, President Trump also gave to Democrats. If you're looking for an apology from me, you've come to the wrong person. Medell is now one of 9 Republicans running for governor, and one of them did publicly highlight his past donations to Democrats. That would be Kristen Robbins, who said Chris has a long history of donating to Democrats, including supporting Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Tim Walz as recently as 2024. Over $30 million in federal funding for Minnesota is at risk after officials say a review found 1/3 of commercial driver's licenses in the state were issued illegally. In a letter on Monday, U.S. A third, Chris. Yes, 1/3. In a letter on Monday, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy threatened to withhold $30.4 million in federal highway funding if Minnesota doesn't address shortcomings in its commercial driver's license program and revoke any licenses that never should have been issued, either because they were valid beyond a driver's work permit or because the state never verified a driver's immigration status. Secretary Duffy alleged that 1/3 of Minnesota's non-domiciled commercial driver's licenses reviewed by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration were issued illegally. Duffy is threatening to pull federal funding from California and Pennsylvania over the same issue, and he proposed significant new restrictions on which immigrants can get a commercial driver's license, but a court has put those new rules on hold. Duffy says the department is auditing a number of other states, including Texas and South Dakota. The Transportation Department also said it plans to revoke the certification of about 3,000 schools unless they can comply with training requirements in the next 30 days.
This doesn't affect all schools, though. Obviously, there's a number of very reputable tech colleges around the state that have long-term programs to get you your A-class CDL or B-class for that matter.
You know, I missed this earlier today. I apologize, but this is an outrage.
It is, Chris.
Kenny, help me. Is this why we had so many jackknife semis over the weekend?
One wonders, doesn't one? I've got a lot of truck driver followers on X, and boy, they've told me a story or two, none of which I can confirm. It's all hearsay, but wow.
I can tell you one thing. I had both my dad and both of my brothers were at my house for Thanksgiving, and some of the stuff they were telling me was baffling. These are the guys that are on the road with us. Your family is behind them on 169 or 35W. And these clowns are out here with an illegal license?
I'm so old.
How old are you?
I remember when you passed a truck on the freeway, the driver would flick his lights to let you back into your lane.
Sure. There's a few of us that still do that, but boy, you're right. That's a rare occurrence.
You know what they do now? They stall in the left lane and then hold their sandal out the window.
Yeah. That's a
you
rough
go right
one.
ahead and send me any email you want. This is an outrage.
I can remember, Joe, when now I try to avoid being around semis on the highway. In the old days, they were the safest guys. You didn't mind being.
I'd often draft behind them.
Yeah, you follow them.
Yeah.
And now, no, not a chance. I just try to get by them as soon as I can and get away from them.
A third.
Wow. Witnesses say,
which is we should say. We know great truck drivers.
Sure.
And
certainly.
no one's more angry than great truck drivers.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
I talked to 3 of them on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Witnesses say a Roseville man was tweaking on drugs when he allegedly shot and killed his friend and brandished the gun at another residence of a St. Paul apartment building early Sunday morning. According to the criminal complaint filed in Ramsey County, Spencer Curtis McAloney, 27 years old, faces charges of second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, and possession of a firearm in connection with the incident. Police found the murder victim shot several times in his apartment at the intersection of Victoria Street and Englewood Avenue about 1:40 in the morning Sunday. The victim, identified by the Ramsey County Medical Examiner as 32-year-old Tariq Hassan of St. Paul, pronounced dead at the scene. Nearby, officers ran toward a Toyota Camry after hearing a possible gunshot. That car drove away, sideswiping a parked Cadillac and later crashing into another parked car 2 blocks to the east before coming to a stop. McAloney was in the driver's seat and a gun was found on the floor. McAloney matched witnesses' descriptions of the shooter, and police placed him under arrest. Charging documents say McAloney was one of about 10 people in the apartment that night, which was an alleged hub for drug activity. Witnesses said the shooting victim dealt fentanyl powder. One person told police McAloney was tweaking and paranoid from the drug use, and the victim had tried to calm him down for over an hour. McAloney's erratic behavior escalated until he allegedly opened fire, sending people scattering from the apartment out into the street.
Well, I must ask, I think I know, but what does tweaking mean?
Paranoid, nuts, acting crazy and hyper.
Reacting to hallucinogenics.
It's what Matthew does every day on the podcast.
It's different than twerking.
Right.
Yeah, it's much
No, I
different.
usually do that before.
Right.
Yes, Joe.
Thanks for that visual.
One letter
Rook.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, just a spelling error.
Yeah.
Everybody in their mind now has a visual of Rook twerking.
I can do it planking, the whole thing.
We'll get to some national, international stuff in a minute. Before we do, I got to tell you about something, boy. I love it. We've had it in my house now for, I think, about 3 months. And it makes a great Christmas gift. You might be one of those people, you put off your Christmas shopping to the last minute, end up maybe buying a gift card. Well, this year, I can take care of that issue for you. Get yourself an Aura frame. My wife and I took our favorite photos and videos, loaded them all into the new Aura frame. Right now, that's about 750 items, and I guarantee we're going to have a lot of new pictures to add once this Christmas season is over. And it's really, really easy to use.
John, can you download them from your phone?
Just from your phone, exactly. So I had all those pictures on my phone. I got the Aura frame, and I just started hitting boom, boom, boom.
Yes,
After,
yes.
all you have to do is download the Aura app and connect it to Wi-Fi and start adding pictures. It's really easy to use. Chris, if I may use your favorite word, it literally took just a couple of minutes to set it up.
I know someone that just recently purchased this, and that person is so thrilled and really thinks that person has cheated Christmas because it's such a wonderful gift that there's no more worry.
I've taken care of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't name you, but okay.
The other thing is, it's, we've all had picture frames in the past, and they're kind of weird, cloudy, not great. It looks like the actual photos in front of you. The screen is gorgeous. It's perfect. It's easy to do. For a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off of Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. All you have to do is use the promo code GL at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code GL. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. You can wrap togetherness, but you can't frame it. Aura Frames.
Hey. Who's doing something?
You cannot stop him. He'll just make a move.
I don't care.
Joe Souchere.
You have dirty dishes?
Two fork.
How
you clean two fork?
You get Hofferman Water and Connecticut. I'm not joking. You know what the reason why? Ask me why, rookie.
What's the reason for Hofferman?
I made the switch from Hofferman.
Why'd you make the switch?
Here's the deal. I went through a dishwasher when the house was 2 years old, and I thought, well, that can't be right. So we got a new dishwasher, and a year and a half later, this dishwasher's crap too.
What?
And I went, well, that's because that's how bad my water was when I was living in Carver. And you know what? So I called up Jim. He came out. I started as a customer of Hofferman Water and Connecticut. He said, "Are you moron number 2?" I said, yeah, that's me.
3, 2, and 1.
That's how the relationship started. And you know what? It's made an amazing difference in the quality of my water. It will do that for you. You're entertaining this time of the year. Ice, cooking, everything gets better with Hofferman Water and Connecticut, but you got to get on that schedule and have them come out for that free water analysis. You can do that one of two ways. Call them directly at 612-895-2440 or visit their website at hoffermanwater.com. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single different water treatment system that they have to offer. But you got to get on that schedule. That's the first step. 612-895-2440 or visit hoffermanwater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please do me a favor and tell them that Mock sent you your way.
In national and international headlines, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defending Navy Admiral Mitch Bradley last night, calling him an American hero amid reports that Bradley ordered the follow-up boat strike during a recent military operation in the Caribbean. Hegseth said he fully supports the Admiral's combat decisions, including those made during the September 2nd mission, and emphasized the Pentagon stands behind its commanders. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt addressed the incident Monday as lawmakers from both parties signaled support for a congressional review of U.S. maritime counter-narcotics missions in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. All of that follows reports that survivors of an initial strike were killed in a follow-up attack. Washington Post last week reported that Hegseth had given a verbal order for the second strike, a claim that Hegseth has denied. Legal experts have said the killing of such survivors would be illegal under U.S. and international law. Hegseth's comments yesterday coming under some fire. Fox News chief political analyst Brit Hume quote-tweeted Hegseth and wrote, "How to point the finger at someone while pretending to support him." Earlier in the day, Hume, usually a backer of the Trump administration, said that the story could be a big problem for the administration. Ryan Goodman, former general counsel for the Department of Defense, said if Hegseth ordered everyone on the boat killed, the secretary is ultimately responsible for the second strike, regardless of of Bradley's involvement. Members of Congress from both parties say the incident will be investigated.
May I ask a question as the resident dum-dum here on the show?
Sure.
I watched an interview. Is it Shannon Bream? Is she the one that does the Fox Sunday morning show?
No idea.
I don't know.
She was interviewing Pam Bondi. Joe, Pam Bondi was on the show.
Sure.
And they were talking about this very subject. I guess I just don't know if these are the bad guys bringing a ton of drugs that are killing Americans into this country.
Yeah.
Is it just more about the tactical approach about how I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to understand the whole Venezuelan thing.
Okay, so you're just as confused as I am?
Are these drug bombings a cover-up for wanting to take over all Venezuelan oil fields? I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
None. Zero.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a big theory going around.
Okay.
I guess I didn't know you were going that far, but I'm just wondering, is there a bigger game being played here?
All I know is that generally speaking, you don't wipe out survivors. You kind of try to pick them up, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, and Chris, to answer your question too, the the initial strike, some people are seeing as illegal because there's no, you can't willy-nilly go and blow things up.
But they were using surveillance from the UK, right? Isn't that how we initially were able to intercept these guys?
That I do not know.
Okay.
I did get an email from a guy worried about the traveling limans out on the ocean, because what if all these whales get high from all these drugs dumped in the water? They're going to overturn their boat.
Overturn the boat.
You got to stay with the boat.
You should. Well, that's what these guys did, and then Pistol Pete got him, I guess. I don't know.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Cyclone. When's the last time you heard about cyclones?
Oh, frequently, John. They're on the East Coast, east part of the world.
There you go. That's what this story's about. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. Cyclone-fueled flooding across Southeast Asia, including in Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam, has now killed at least 1,200 people. Roughly 800 remain missing, and hundreds of thousands have been displaced since last week. Officials say entire low-lying districts have been submerged as rivers overflowed and landslides buried nearby communities. There's been 604 deaths at least in Indonesia. Sri Lanka's at about 355. They're the hardest hit areas, with some areas receiving a month's worth of rain in 48 hours. Rescue crews washed out roads, collapsed bridges, and power outages, that is, washed out roads, collapsed bridges and power outages, while military units have been deployed to help with evacuations and deliver aid to overcrowded shelters. The latest Pew Research study on social media says Americans use YouTube more than any other social media site. 84% of U.S. adults say they use YouTube. Next highest is Facebook at 71%. About half of adults use Instagram. Smaller shares use other sites, with TikTok at 37%, WhatsApp at 32%, Reddit, Snapchat, and X have a few. Oh my
Come on, Johnny, you can do it.
You can do it. Spit it out.
A smaller number of users. How's that?
There I go.
There we go.
But what is apt? Apt natural.
Reddit has 26%, Snapchat at 25%, and X is at 21%. Three other platforms are below 10%, Threads at 8%, Blue Sky 4%, and President Trump's Truth Social at 3%. Speaking of social media and Truth Social, the president went on a bit of a posting spree last night that saw him fire off 150 tweets, well, whatever we call them on Truth Social, in mere hours. That included compliments about the First Lady, conspiracy theories about Democratic Rep Nancy Pelosi, and numerous other topics. Between 7 o'clock and midnight, the president reposted about 150, averaging more than one post every 2 minutes for 5 hours, from what appeared to be a random assortment of unknown figures on X and his close allies, discussing an unpredictable range of topics.
Was he drugged up?
The heaviest concentration of posts occurred between 11 and midnight, about 100 posts in that last hour. Less than 6 hours after capping off the posting spree, the president jumped back on his social media platform at 5:48 this morning, declaring Truth Social is the best. There's nothing even close. The Truth Social spree included videos of Kamala Harris flattering comments about himself and attacks against his perceived political rivals.
I love the fact that they released the results of his MRI. He didn't know what they were looking for, but he said it was the best MRI they've ever seen.
No question.
It's the best one they've ever seen.
Tremendous.
U.S. Transportation Security Administration said it will begin charging air travelers $45 on February 1st if their IDs do not meet the stricter federal standards. A move aimed at encouraging travelers.
Can we set up a preemptive security camera at the Spirit airline for that particular change in law?
Why and how and what in the world?
In May 2025, the TSA began enforcing the standards known as Real ID, but gave warnings and conducted enhanced screening for passengers without the new IDs.
Oh, boy.
TSA officials said they would urge passengers without real IDs to get them and pay the fee before arriving at the airport. The $45 fee will cover travel for a 10-day period.
No.
On November 20th, TSA said in a notice posted in the Federal Register that travelers could face an $18 fee if they did not have real ID, but officials in a briefing with reporters said they had raised the price because expenses for the option were higher than forecast.
So TSA just makes up rules and then enforces those rules and nobody questions them? Hello? What, do they think they're the Minnesota DNR? Come on now.
The fees are non-refundable, and it may take travelers up to 30 extra minutes to pay the fee to go through security if they fail to pay before arriving at the airport.
Unbelievable.
Officials said in extraordinary circumstances they might waive the fees. Children under 18 do not have to present an ID at an airport checkpoint. Most travelers use state government-issued driver's licenses that meet the requirements, but passports issued by any government are also an acceptable form of ID, as are other forms of IDs, opens, new tab, including, wait a minute, ours are other forms of IDs, including permanent resident cards.
I got the real
Such
ID.
is good.
I got it.
Yeah, I've got one
you're
too.
covered.
I don't remember it costing me
Enhanced.
$45 though.
Joe, are you asking because you might be traveling soon?
Yeah, where are you going today?
Yeah, I might be.
John, is there an extra charge for people with red hair or people that walk with a limp?
Not yet.
Or people
there
with
are
only
extraordinary
4
circumstances.
It's coming soon.
This is nonsense.
And you guys make fun of me for driving.
How long have we been screwing around with this real ID thing?
It's been a while.
10 years,
6
huh?
years.
But maybe that's what people need to be hit them where it's going to count now. Now we're going to hit your pocketbook.
Oh,
Let's
Mr.
go here.
Airport defending this.
Listen, stop calling me
intrusive.
Shirley.
Did you see the Thanksgiving weekend viral video of a young woman very upset that she was late for her flight back to Chicago?
Oh, no, dear.
She yelled and yelled and yelled at the gal behind the computer. She just sat there and looked and said, "Ma'am, that flight just went to Los Angeles."
Hello. Hello.
She had the wrong gate. But she was tearing apart everything.
That happens all the time. Or if it's the next flight at the gate, they're complaining that it's the wrong. Like, well, that one's going out next, so just relax.
Oh, boy.
At Costco.
Flying used to be fun. I'm doing the best I can to never fly.
No, flying is okay.
No, it isn't.
No,
it's a pain
not.
in the ass.
It's a cesspool
just
of
a
idiots.
Don't fly
complete
Spirit.
bleep show.
Don't fly Spirit. Well, you can't anymore.
I want
Flying
19 bags.
Flying has turned into the megabus.
Yes,
what it's
exactly.
turned into.
Kenny's 100%
It's a
right.
flying megabus. You are correct. That's accurate.
But if you fly, you might see Rook. Say hi
I
to
see
the Rook.
GLers every single day.
There you go.
I don't fly the megabus, but if I did.
Costco has joined dozens of other companies in suing the Trump administration to get a full refund of new tariffs that it paid so far this year to block those import duties from continuing to be collected from the retail warehouse club, giant as a Supreme Court case plays out. In the suit, Costco said it risks losing the money it's already paid to satisfy the tariffs, even if the Supreme Court eventually upholds earlier lower court rulings that found President Trump did not have the legal power to impose the tariffs. The company noted a looming December 15th deadline that could prevent the tariffs that it has already paid on an estimated basis from being refunded. Costco did not say how much money it believes should be refunded to the company. Costco's suit filed in the U.S. Court of International Trade said that U.S. Customs and Border Protection denied the company's request to extend the date of the deadline of the so-called liquidation. While an importer has 6 months to file a protest contesting liquidation, not all liquidations are protestable, according to the suit filed by Costco.
John, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
Far from it, dude.
Truth, justice, and the Souchere.
I don't want to let the show conclude without this. Last week I read you from an employer what he received from the state regarding preparing for the medical family paid leave program.
Yes, sir.
Now he has forwarded me what he has told his employers about it. I think this is especially pertinent given the background that these employers are now working in with a completely failed state, an incompetent governor, fraud everywhere they look, no assurance whatsoever that their money is being handled with any competence whatsoever. So he writes, "Hi, everyone." He's talking to his employees. "This guy's a friend of mine. I don't know why I'm choosing not to use his name. I'm going to. This is Scott Mueller from Mueller Mortuaries." And he didn't need this. He treats his people well. But this is what he's now saying to his employees. I want to take a few minutes to let you know about a new state-mandated program called Minnesota Paid Leave, which goes into effect on January 1st. This program is designed to provide wage replacement and job protection for people who need time away from work to care for themselves or a family member. This applies under a specific qualifying situations, and the state requires documentation and proof of need when applying. Beginning in January, the state of Minnesota will fund this program through payroll contributions. The cost is split between employees and employers, with 0.44% of wages paid by you and 0.44% paid by the employer. These deductions will be handled automatically by our payroll service when the program starts. I want you to hear something directly from me. We will comply fully with the law and follow all required procedures, and I will make sure you have access to whatever information you need to understand the benefits and qualifications. At the same time, I want to be honest about the challenges I see from the employer side, especially for any small business without large company HR or legal departments. Programs like this may sound straightforward on paper, but they often come with real-world unintended consequences, including the administrative burden of processing requests, staffing challenges when leave is taken, especially when employees have on-call status, and the increased financial strain of additional payroll costs for both of us. Minnesota's track record on running large benefit programs efficiently doesn't exactly build confidence. And based on past experience, think vehicle registration system rollouts, DHS issues, and others in the news lately, I expect the cost and complexity of this program to grow dramatically and quickly. I'm grateful for each of you and for the work you do here every day. You're the reason we continue to deliver the level of care and service that we are known for in our community. I hope you can also see this from an employer's point of view as well. We will support the law because we care about doing right by our team, but we should all be aware of the strain programs like this place on small businesses that are already navigating staffing shortages and rising costs. Costs that are mitigated in two ways: decrease expenses or increase the cost to the customer. Attached, you'll find additional information provided by the state of Minnesota so you can understand the details of paid leave and how to access it if needed. Please take the time to look it over and let me and then he mentions a name, know if you have questions. Thanks again for everything you do. You matter a great deal to our families and to me personally, Scott. I feel for these people. Given the background of what we have to put up with in this godforsaken, failed state, and here's another level of crap handed to people trying to play by the book? Are you kidding me?
Someone that is a business owner had a great analogy. You guys are familiar with Jim Gaffigan?
Yes.
He has a great line about because he's got like 900 kids. Said, "Do you know what
he's got 5?
You know what having 5 kids is like? You're drowning in the middle of the ocean and someone hands you a baby. That's what owning a business in Minnesota is like. Hey, we've got all this stuff. You're drowning right now. Here's a baby." That's exactly what it's like.
It's absolutely pathetic. It's injurious. It's harmful. It will cost more than you can ever imagine. It will require a new layering on of bureaucracy. It's just another way we've been treated poorly by the people who are that we thought were working for our benefit. They're not.
Mm-hmm. You sure they're not trying to help us out, Joe?
Only because they come to us all the way from the southwesterly between the east coast of Banka Belitung Islands on the west coast of Karamata Island, the traveling Lymans. It was on this day.
Joe, today is December 2nd.
In 1857, the first state legislature convened, and thus it all began. 5 months before Minnesota was admitted to the Union. Despite its questionable legality, the session passed over 90 laws and elected Henry Rice and James M. Shields as U.S. senators. The pair traveled to Washington, D.C. and waited for statehood to become official so their terms could begin. On this day,
December 2nd,
in 1858, we had just become a state, hadn't we?
Fresh. We're in our infancy.
The term Land of Lakes was first applied to Minnesota in the St. Anthony Falls newspaper, the Falls Evening News. On this day.
They had 2 papers, the Evening News.
Well, we used to, a lot of papers.
Oh, had to deliver twice.
On this day.
December 2nd.
In 1884, Faribault's Waterworks passed their operations
Oh, my God. I'm so
test.
sick about Faribault.
I know right where it is, too, by the way. It's right next to the train tracks.
Does Reavers give you those?
And
Is
I'm not done with this one yet. And the system was accepted on December 31st.
Is that Waterworks from the Urban Dictionary, or is that something different?
On this day,
December 2nd.
On this day in 1993, Theater Mu, or Mew, Minnesota's first professional Asian American theater company, presented its first full-length production. The play, called Mask Dance, detailed the experiences of Korean adoptees in Minnesota.
That's nice.
I was close to a girl all my life who was a Korean adoptee. In fact, 2 of them. Yeah.
Noted.
On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
What would we lose to? December 2nd.
On this day.
What do we got?
12-2.
In 1976, the university got a temporary injunction against probation by the NCAA.
What was that in relation to?
Well, 76, that had to be a basketball scandal.
Was that the
Probably
fight?
cheating.
No, I don't.
Was that Musselman?
Yeah,
Not
we had
Musselman.
didn't we have the brawl with Ohio State?
I thought that was earlier than 96. that was about 72 or 3.
Yeah.
That
the
was
70s, they were
probably
all-
a basketball
The
scandal.
70s are all the same.
Yeah, that's
Just get him out of here.
Thank you so much, GL.
Thanks, guys.
Do us a favor if you haven't done so already and hit the subscribe button on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. You can also see full segments, video shorts, behind the scenes footage. It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, X, and you can also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com. It is time once again that we check in with our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again right here in Garage Logic, and now is the time for you to do the same. So do not delay. Do exactly what I did and pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh, and he is there for you for that free, yes, I did use the word free, 48-minute financial financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice. And he is on the line with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And boy, Josh, I know you got a lot to get to today, but you would like to start with Giving Tuesday.
I do want to start, Chris, with Giving Tuesday. We don't talk much about making charitable contributions, but it is that time of year when many people are making charitable contributions. In all likelihood, you're going to get a dollar-for-dollar reduction in your taxable income. Charity or giving to causes that you believe, can help others is a very noble gesture. And whether it's giving to your college, giving to your church or synagogue, both dollars or appreciated assets can go a very, very long way, as well as give you a tremendous feeling that you're helping others. One big gift was made today from Michael Dell and his wife, a pledge to give over $6 billion, provide for 25 million children. That's about $250 per child as part of a program that President Trump has instituted called Invest America. The idea behind this is to give every child or child under 18 money to invest in, invest in America. And I think that's a tremendous deal, and it will help develop more for capitalism and give every child over time, a piece of the pie. It has been found that once people start saving, that they increase the amount of saving as time goes on, and that becomes beneficial not only to them but also to their beneficiaries as well. So on this Giving Tuesday, do not hesitate to give. Give to others, form of charity. Give to your favorite charity. Help others. Whether you give dollars or give appreciated assets, much would be appreciated, and that can go a long way. In terms of the market, we are not in an AI bubble. That's shown that. Consumers are consuming. They may be consuming in slightly different ways, but Black Friday, Cyber Monday proved to be very, very good for certain types of retailers. Seeing a nice bump up in, Walmart, Costco, and Amazon, among others, as people are searching for bargains, at least ahead of the holiday season. So retailers could be on a little tear, as it has been shown that more people are buying iPhones around the world, and that has been a surprise to many, many analysts. Not so much a surprise to me. I have raised my price target on Apple from 300 to 400 over the next, 18 months. Apple, I believe, is going to be a pretty good winner in the AI race. Again, it is Giving Tuesday, so give them.
And that's why we come to you for the straight talk and never get the sugar-coated advice, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And you do that just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Chris.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorsed